Today, we're going to talk about something really powerful. These invisible cycles that can make us feel so stuck. We're going to dig into why we get trapped in the same emotional loops over and over again, using the incredible work of Eric J. Henley as our guide to see how we can finally break free.
Okay, let's just get right into it. Have you ever found yourself in the exact same argument with someone? Or felt that familiar spike of anxiety about the same old thing? Or maybe it's that inner critic, the one that sounds like a broken record. It's this feeling of being stuck on a hamster wheel that you never signed up for.
So here's the core idea. A lot of us are walking around living out these invisible scripts. They're like stories that are running in the background, shaping our every reaction. But here's the catch. We're not even aware they're there.
And we're not just talking about thoughts in your head. No. As Henley points out, we carry these stories in our bodies. You feel it, right? It's in the way your shoulders tense up, the way you hesitate before speaking, or the way you just automatically brace for the worst. These stories are lived experiences, held in our very cells.
And here's the really wild part. A lot of these patterns, they actually started out trying to help us. They were clever survival strategies that a younger version of ourselves came up with to feel safe in the world. But the problem is, as we grow up, those same protective walls can start to feel like a prison, boxing us in and limiting our lives.
So, how does this actually work? How do these invisible stories have so much power over our day-to-day lives? Well, it all boils down to this one central concept that keeps the whole loop going, what Henley calls the cycle of perception. This right here, this gets to the heart of it all. You've probably heard this before, but it's so true. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. All of our past experiences, good and bad, create this unique filter, this lens that we look through. So every single thing that happens to us gets colored by that lens before we even realize it.
Let's walk through a super simple example. Step 1. A moment happens. Let's say your friend doesn't text you back right away. Step 2. Our brain, through its old lens, assigns a story. See, they don't really care about me. Step 3. That story immediately triggers a feeling. Maybe it's a pang of rejection or a surge of anxiety. Step 4. That feeling drives a reaction. Maybe we pull away or we send a passive-aggressive text. And boom, step 5. The cycle repeats, reinforcing the original belief that people don't care and making it even more likely to happen the next time.
Okay, and this next part, this is a total game changer. Those moments when you overreact, those triggers that seem to come out of nowhere, they aren't signs that you're flawed or broken. They're actually your body's incredibly loyal, if a little outdated, attempt to keep you safe. This quote from Gabor Mate just nails it. The patterns we're talking about aren't just memories floating around in our minds. They are physically stored inside our nervous system. The trauma isn't the event itself. It's the imprint the event left inside of you. Your body remembers what felt dangerous, even if your logical brain knows you're perfectly safe now. So this means we get to shift our whole perspective from self-criticism to genuine compassion. We stop asking, what is wrong with me? And we start gently asking, what happened to me that makes this big reaction feel so necessary? Because here's the secret. Your brain isn't asking, is this situation objectively dangerous? It's asking, is this familiar? And it reacts to what's familiar, not what's real. So if this whole cycle is running on autopilot, how in the world do we stop it? Well, this brings us to the single most powerful tool we have. It's about learning to find what some call the sacred pause. This insight from Viktor Frankl says it all, doesn't it? That tiny little gap, the moment after the trigger hits, but before we fly into our automatic reaction, that space is everything. That is where our power lives. Most of the time, we just blow right past it. Learning to notice it, to live in it, that's how we reclaim our freedom.
And honestly, sometimes that's it. That's the whole move. Just one conscious breath. A single moment where you notice that heat rising in your chest and you just choose to do nothing. It sounds so simple, but that one act of pausing interrupts the entire automatic chain reaction.
So when you create that little bit of breathing room for yourself, what actually becomes possible? Well, everything changes. You get to move from being a reactor, just a puppet of your past, to being a responder. You create room for curiosity, for compassion, and for a choice that isn't just a stale echo of yesterday. Because that pause, it's not just about stopping a bad habit, it's about opening up a window of opportunity.
It's in that space that we can finally pick up the pen and begin to consciously rewrite those old, tired scripts. This is where we take back authorship of our own story.
And this is what the work actually looks like, right here. It's about finding that old script, that limiting belief like people always leave, and consciously, intentionally choosing a new truth like I am worthy of belonging. It's not about pretending the past didn't hurt. It's about refusing to let it dictate your future.
Now, to do this, we have to make this really fundamental shift in our mindset. We have to move from judgment to what Henley calls compassionate curiosity. So instead of fighting our feelings and asking, why am I like this? We can turn towards them with genuine curiosity and ask, okay, what are you trying to tell me? What are you here to show me? We start treating our feelings like messengers, not enemies.
And the big takeaway here is that this is a practice. It's not a finish line you cross once and for all. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's not about forcing change. It's about gently noticing. It is a constant, compassionate return to yourself over and over and over again.
So, at the end of the day, the power isn't in some magical, complicated solution. It's in the small, consistent choice to pause, to get curious, and to write a new chapter for yourself. The pen is in your hand. So what new story will you choose to live?